Oh, there we go. Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Dustin Smith. I'm full-time faculty here at Webster University in Webster Groves. Okay? And I'm going to be overviewing this section of Management 2100 for you guys for the next 8 weeks. Okay? It is Monday, August 28th. Game of Thrones is done. So ready to get going learning about management. Basically, what I want to do each week is just post a short video like this, giving a quick overview of the material, highlighting any key points, things like that, and then post any other videos throughout the week, maybe in response to questions or something like that. Just trying to replicate kind of the in-class experience for the online learners here. Okay, so I won't take too much of your time for this first one here. What I want to do is basically just go over really quickly the structure, format of the course, talk about the assignments, talk about the final project, and then finally I'm going to talk a little bit about the material for week 1. Okay, so if you give me a second, I'm going to share my screen. And again, my apologies for the sound quality here. I'm using a web app at my work computer, so it's not my normal recording software. All right, so hopefully I'll have that rectified within for the next week. All right, so I'm going to pull up World Classroom. So for those of you that have taken an online course before or have been through the training, a lot of this is going to be just very redundant. So bear with me here for just a little bit. If you haven't taken an online course, okay, hopefully this will be some useful information here. So when you first log in at worldclassroom.webster.edu, have a list of the channel buttons on the side. Here we're at the home page. Okay, you will see all of the most important links, a quick welcome, introduction to the course. If you have any general questions, classroom Q&A and stuff like that, this will link to another discussion board. This links to a discussion board about the final project, which I'll go over in just a second here. Oftentimes, students send me interesting videos or articles that they found. Okay, and I wind up sharing them with the rest of the class. I absolutely love it when you do this. So feel free to, any interesting thing you come across, feel free to post it into the external resources section. Okay, textbook e-reserves. For those of you that haven't had a chance yet to order the Jones and George 9th edition of the text, okay, or maybe you're still waiting for it to come in, that's going to be e-reserves right here. And then finally, each of the weeks, week 1 through 8, this is going to be all of the information, all of the assignments and everything posted under these tabs here, okay, which you can click on. Okay, syllabus tab you're familiar with. It's going to take you directly to the syllabus. I won't go over, I'll let you go over this on your own time, but essentially, as far as my contact information goes, here's my email. If you are in the Webster Groves area, okay, I do have a campus, or I do have an office on campus here. Okay, and this is my office phone. Okay, I also hold virtual hours via Skype. Okay, if somebody wants to chat with me or something like that. Okay, maybe we can share your screen or something. I don't know. Available upon request. Most of the time, I'm more available later at night. Okay, but happy to do this for you guys. Okay, going down, okay, our discussions. Okay, you'll look at the discussion board here, pinned discussions. Okay, so there's the general question, final project presentation, external resource. Okay, this here, the student introductions, I'm asking everybody within the next day or two just to post a short little paragraph about yourself. I see that 6 people have already done it, okay, which is absolutely fantastic. There's 25 students in the course, a lot of students in this course. Okay, and I know the nature of an online course like this is kind of very impersonal, but for me, it really helps to kind of understand who's in the course, what your motivations are for pursuing your bachelor's degree, or just taking the course in general, okay, and then what interest you have in the material. Okay, so we'll get down to the assignments. All right, and I'll pull up module 1 to illustrate this here. So basically the same format each week. Right, we'll have material that we'll go over. So in this week, we're going to be covering management, some history of management, and emotions and personality. All right, so once you've gone through and you've read the chapters in the book and you've gone over the lecture notes, which I'm clicking through right here, I'll have video resources on the bottom, okay, more video resources, other lecture notes. Okay. After all of this, you're going to be taken to the end. Okay, so at the end of week 1 here, we'll see our activities, okay, which just gives you a reiteration of what we'd be covering this week. So this is the required readings. So in this case, it's the syllabus, the lecture notes, key terms of the week, which you can access via here, okay, and then chapters 1, 2, and 3 in the Jones and George textbook. Okay. So the assignments for this week, okay, we have 2 discussion cases. Okay. So for those of you that have taken an online course before, I'm sure you're very familiar with this type of format. You can click on this one here. Okay. Watch the short video. Okay. Do a quick read over about the course here, and then I have 3 discussion questions, okay, that I'm asking you to answer. Share your and post these in the discussion section. Okay, post these in the discussion section here, so you can post them in the board. Okay, you'll see that the due date says the end of the week. Right, but something to keep in mind: I'm asking that you put the initial postings up there by Wednesday at midnight. Okay, to give the other students some time to respond or read your posts and then respond, okay, and then and do a follow-up posting by Saturday at midnight. So standard format, asking you to respond to at least 2 other postings, okay, and then hopefully generate some sort of online discussion here. So we have one, this deals with chapter 2, and then this discussion case deals with chapter 3. And then finally, any sort of quizzes, okay, that are going to be due by the end of the week. All right, these are also Saturday by midnight. Okay, in this case, we have managers and managing and the Jung typology test. Okay, so you can kind of go over that at your own leisure here. So, I mean, it would be helpful to treat this kind of like you were in an online course, or sorry, in an on-the-ground course. In an on-the-ground course, you'd be spending an hour and a half, at least twice a week, okay, within the classroom. So I found that for those of you that have not taken an online class before, that it's really helpful if you block out that hour and a half, okay, sometime before Wednesday, okay, do the readings, respond to the discussion cases, okay, and then take some more time later in the week, okay, a second block of time to read people's responses, do your responses, and then take the quiz, stuff like that, okay? Providing yourself that type of structure would be really, really helpful for getting through all this stuff here. Okay, so we are together for a very, very short time. So those of you that have taken an online course before here, you know that 8 weeks flies by very, very, very quickly, okay? So in the past with this iteration of the course, you've had to do written projects and things like that. Honestly, I really loathe those types of projects where you have to, read a bunch of articles and then, do a final research paper. I don't think it really gets at the spirit of the course, the goal of what we want this course to do. All right. So for this iteration of the course, I'm asking you to turn yourself into a mini consultant, okay, for the final project here. Okay. So again, this is going to be this main sticky discussion board. Feel free to ask any questions, things like that about the project. But essentially, what you're going to be doing is going out, choosing a business somewhere around you in your local area. And yes, in this instance, it can be a business that you're working for. I know since you're online students, a lot of you have full-time jobs. Okay, so feel free to use your own business that you're working for. Okay. I want you to go out, do a site visit, right? Really become knowledgeable about the operations from start to finish, really know the value chain, okay? And then come up with what you feel are 2 or 3 core issues you feel the business is facing, okay? And really go into depth in terms of your analysis on these, okay? Why are these challenges present in the business? Why is the business facing these, okay? What historical issues have led up to a business facing these challenges, okay? And we are covering such a broad overview of different topic areas within management in this course and you'll be able to pull in quite a few different things, quite a few different theories and best practices, okay, in order to address these issues. Okay, so using information from the class, propose solutions that you feel would logically, okay, and pragmatically address these issues. Prepare a write-up using standard format, APA, and stuff like that. Okay, and then just for fun, okay, once you've turned in your write-up here, I want you to do or narrate a short slideshow, a short presentation, just 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll have a spot that you can post this online so the other people in the class can go and kind of see the results of your work. Okay, so, and I really enjoy watching these as well, and I think other students do too. Okay, so it really gives you some good insight. Okay, so we can talk more about this as we go through. Okay, but a couple of important dates to do with this final project and presentation. Okay. So if you click on the assignments tab, you'll see the three categories of assignments that we have. So here's all the weekly participation and discussion questions. Here are the weekly quizzes that we have. Okay, and then this has to do with the final project here. So you'll see that at week 2, we have a check-in. So at the end of the second week, okay, I'm asking you to, tell me how things are going in the course so far. Okay, and hopefully at this point, you'll see that you've selected a business and you've generated an idea of how you want to complete the research portion of this project. Okay, so just do a short write-up on what business you're going to do, kind of your plan of attack, and maybe some initial ideas that you've had and things like that. And so each 2-week period has a check-in. So we have one here, 4, 6, okay? And then week 8 is going to be the final project submission, as well as the submission of the actual presentation itself. Okay, so hopefully that's pretty straightforward, and I'll talk more about that in additional videos and show you some examples of stuff that students have done in the past to kind of give you a good understanding of what this is all about here. All right, and then the last one is just the course feedback. Okay, basically just a completion grade here. Honestly, just very much interested in your experience as a student in this section, things like that. Okay, so that's basically the overview of the course here. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk about what we're going to be going over this week, right? And then I will leave you to it. All right, so click on week 1. Okay, going to see that we have 3 chapters from the text: Managers and Managing, Evolution of Management Thought, and then Values, Attitudes, Emotions, and Culture. Chapter 1, your standard introductory chapter, we're going to be looking at management as a profession, right? So management as this kind of professional field of study, this professional job, really in kind of the grand scheme of things, it hasn't been around that terribly long. And it's only been in the last 100 years that we've treated this as something that you can train somebody for, okay, and then provide the skills for. I mean, the first MBA program, wasn't until the early 1900s in Harvard Business School. So as far as an academic field, it's relatively new. So Managers and Managing are going to talk about the job itself, what a manager does, the various roles that a manager fills. Okay, so for those of you that have management experience, I'm sure you understand that a manager has to wear very many hats, okay, within an organization, especially smaller organizations. You have to be a strategist, you have to be your own marketing professional, okay, you have to understand people, okay, you have to know how to motivate people, know how to work through people in order to get things done. Okay, so we'll be talking a lot about the human side of the organization in this course here. Right? Chapter 2 is going to be a bit of a history lesson. We're going to be looking at where management thinking has come from. We'll start in kind of antiquity, okay, but we'll focus more or most of our attention on the more contemporary theories. We'll go through the 1900s with theories like scientific management and things like that, where people were kind of treated more as a means to an end within an organization. We didn't have a in-depth understanding of kind of the or human behavior, the human psychology, okay, within an organization, right? So we see 20s, 30s, 40s, kind of the field of industrial organizational psychology really starting to come into its own, and we're focusing on the behavior of people within an organization. We're starting to realize that people, they behave kind of almost irrationally, almost illogically, okay, based upon their surroundings and things like that. Okay, and it's kind of cool. It's really cool stuff. Right. So we'll look at kind of behavioral-based theories of the organization, and then we'll look at more modern theories, such as the organization as an open system, okay, or administrative management, okay, or TQM, things like that, various theories here. So this is a really, really interesting chapter. Some of the material can be a bit dry, but for as far as foundational stuff goes, this is really, really important stuff to understand. Okay. And then finally, what's going to conclude this week is values, attitudes, emotions, and culture, manager as a person. So we know that a manager has to work through people in order to accomplish objectives of the organization. But a manager is also subject to the same cognitive feelings, emotions, personality quirks, things like that that other people are. So understanding what motivates us, what motivates people, value states like terminal values, okay, and then just organizational cultural in general, okay, can really provide that necessary building block that we'll need, okay, in order to be more effective in our organizations. Okay, so that's what we're going to be covering this week. So please take a look at these 3 chapters and then and go ahead and watch those discussion cases and provide some feedback there. Okay, and I will check back in pretty soon and answer any questions that you might have. So until then, thank you, everybody, and I'm signing off.